All right, hello everyone. Today we are on 9.5, page 583. Factor x squared plus bx plus c is the lesson. And so basically what we're doing in this lesson is taking everything we've done so far, which is basically factoring to get polynomials. We are taking it from the answer form essentially and converting it to the original problem basically. We're basically just doing the reverse of the process that we have been doing. So for example, typically so far we've done something like x plus 9 times x plus 2, and you would have to factor that out and solve it. And so using the FOIL method, first, outer, inner, last, you would do x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 9 times x is 9x, and then 9 times 2 is 18. And then you would add like or combine like terms, and you get x squared plus 11x plus 18. And that's your answer. Well, in this lesson, we are essentially just reversing that, and we are starting with a polynomial in that form, a or x squared plus bx plus c. So we're starting with x squared plus 11x plus 18, and we're asked to factor that out in the opposite way. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's take that. Let me just erase this. That's just a formula for it. It was in the same form. But let's just take that and work that out. And I actually want to move it up a little bit because I'm going to need some space. X squared plus 11x plus 18. Okay, so what I'm looking for here, again, is the reverse order. So I know that I'm going to need my two sets of parentheses. And so I'm going to need to fill these in. And so I'm going to work backward here. So first thing I want to do is I know I have an x squared here. And so what times what gives me x squared? Well, that's easy. That's x times x. So I know that's going to be right there. Those two terms are right there. Now I want to, before I can do I can do my numbers here, or I can do the sign, but just kind of a suggestion. The strategy that you want to use to solve this is what numbers are factors of, or what two terms are factors of this number of 18. So in other words, what two numbers will multiply to give me 18, but that I can add or subtract that will give me 11. Okay, and so that can sound a little confusing at first. So let's talk about our signs first, what signs to put there, and then we'll work on the numbers. Look at the right sign first, or this one here first, and then this one over here. If this sign is positive, like it is now, then that means both of these are going to be the same. So they're either going to be two addition signs here or two subtraction signs here. Again, if it's positive, that means these are going to be the same down here. Okay, so I know they're going to be the same, but which one is it? Well, I'll look over here and it'll tell me. So if this is positive, that means they're both going to be positive. If this said minus 11x, then they would both be minus. So because this is positive, I know it's plus and plus. And now I know I'm looking for two positive numbers. So that helps me identify what two numbers can I multiply together that will give me 18, but that I can add together to give me 11. Well, that's 9 and 2, right? So I'm going to put the 9 and the 2 there. Because I'm multiplying, it doesn't matter what order I put it. I could put 9 here and 2 here. That doesn't matter. And so now if I were to work this out, x squared plus 9x plus 2x plus 18, that would give me x squared plus 11x plus 18. So I've essentially just factored this in the reverse order, and that is my answer. Okay? I want to look at another one real quick that will be a little different, using different signs. So for example, I'm in the book here. I'm going to go to page 584, and I'm going to look at the very bottom, the guided practice there. That numbers 4 through 7. I'm going to pick one or two of those. So it's x squared minus 4x plus 3. And hopefully, if you understood what I just did, then maybe you're already seeing how this would be factored out. If you didn't catch it the first time, then let's really pay attention this time again. So I'm going to go ahead and put my parentheses, because I know I have two sets here. And so I have my x's, right? So x squared, x times x is x squared. And so that's easy. And for the beginning, it's always going to be that. We'll get to the point where it's, it may not just be x and x. It could be 4x squared, for example, or 8x squared. And so you might see how that would work out. But for the time being, it's just x, okay, or x squared. So x and x. And then I want to identify my signs first before I try to put numbers in, because again, the signs may determine what my numbers are or what order they are in. So I know by looking at this one, this right sign, because it's addition, that means these two, whatever they are going to be the same. And then this one will tell me they're both going to be subtraction. And so I'm going to put my two subtraction signs. And now, what numbers or factors will multiply to give me 3, positive 3, but will also give me, when added, give me a negative 4? Well, 3 times 1 is 3, so, and that's the only one. 3 is a prime number, so I have to use 3 and 1. And so I'll put that one there and that one there. And again, it doesn't matter the order. So, and I can check this by doing x times x is x squared, and then this is x times negative 3 is negative 3x. Negative 1 times x is negative 1x or negative x, and then negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. And so by combining like terms, x squared minus negative 3x minus x is negative 4x, and then plus 3, which happens to be the same exact thing that's right here. So this part is not necessarily critical for your answer, of course, just to check it. So the factored form of x squared minus 4x plus 3 is x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 3, all right? And again, if I put the 3 here and the 1 here, that would be just fine. If I tried to do this, if I got my signs backwards or didn't do the right signs, for example, and I did x plus 1 and x minus 3, well, when I checked it, and this is why checking is important, when I check it, I would see that x times x is x squared, x times negative 3 is negative 3x, and then positive 1 times x is positive 1x or plus x, and then positive 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. And that would give me, what's negative 3x plus x? That's negative 2x. So I would get x squared minus 2x minus 3, which is not what this says. So that's how I know that would be wrong, all right? But we're going to change that because that's right, okay? So a couple examples there as far as if the signs are both addition or both subtraction, okay? If before you go on in this video, if you didn't get those two, then I want you to go back and watch those two again before you go to the next example that I'm about to show you, because it's going to be a little different. And the reason it's different is because now the signs will not be the same. All right, so for example, I'm going to look at number 6 at the bottom of 584, guided practice there. M squared plus M minus 20. Okay, that's my expression. And I want to factor it. And from the get-go, I see M squared. So what times what is M squared? M times M is M squared. It's just like X is just a different variable. Now, instead of looking at my signs here and seeing, okay, this is positive, so I know that they're both going to be the same, I see it's negative, which you might have guessed, that means they're going to be different. So that means one is going to be positive and one is going to be negative, okay? But I don't know which one until I look over at this sign. This sign will tell me whatever two numbers I use to get this product, so it'll be probably 5 and 4. Whatever two numbers I use to get this, the greater one is going to be positive. That's what this positive sign tells me, this plus sign. The greater one, the higher one will be positive, the smaller one will be negative. That's what that means. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my positive and my negative there. It doesn't matter which one you do, again, because we're multiplying these two. Remember, there's no sign between these parentheses, so that means to multiply, right? So it's m plus something times m minus something, okay? So a positive number and a negative number, when multiplied together, will give me negative 20, but will also can also be added or subtracted to give me 1 or 1m, just 1, right? So what would that be? Well, as I said earlier, 5 and 4 work out. And remember the rule, this sign, if it's positive, it means the greater number gets the positive sign. So I'm going to try it out here and do plus 5 and then minus 4, okay, because 5 times 4 is 20, and then 5 minus 4 is 1, so let's see if that works out. M times m is m squared. M times negative 4 is negative 4m. 5 times m is 5m. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. M squared. Negative 4m plus 5m is negative m, and then minus 20. Nope, my bad. Negative 4m plus 5m is positive m. That makes more sense. Yep. So m squared plus m minus 20. M squared plus m minus 20. So that's how I know that that is correct. So that is my factored form right there. Okay, again, if I were to check it, and if I had minus 5 plus 4, let's say by accident, instead of giving the greater number the positive, I gave the greater number the negative, then I would see that that's negative of positive 4m. So m times positive 4 would be positive 4m, and then negative 5 times m is negative 5m. Well, 4 minus 5 is negative m. That would be, and that's not right. So that's why your signs are so crucial. Okay, let me do another one where the greater sign is the negative. So let's say, for example, if I can get my cap off here, I'm actually going to pull one out of your assignment here. Let's use number 7. Nope, that's not good. We're looking for 2 minus signs. Let's do number 9. Y squared minus 7y minus 18. Y squared minus 7y minus 18. Is that correct? Yep, y squared minus, okay. So bam, 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 bam. Y times y is y squared, so I know there's a y. Start with this sign. That means that they are not the same. They're going to be different. And this one means that the greater one will be negative. So one's plus, one's minus. What two numbers can I multiply to give me 18 or negative 18? And then can also be subtracted to give me 7. Well, 6 and 3, will that work? No. 9 and 2, yes. So the greater one is on the negative side, so 9 is greater, 2 there. So let's check that. Y times y is y squared. Y times negative 9 is negative 9y. 2 times y is positive 2y. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. Combine like terms, y squared. Negative 9y plus 2y, that is negative 7y minus 18. So y squared minus 7y minus 18. There you go. So I know that is correct, okay? So that's all we're doing, all right? And again, these are all just checking. You don't have to do this. Maybe for the first few, do that. Or if you're not sure of some of them, do that. But otherwise, if you can do that mentally too. Like that wasn't super hard math. So if you're really getting this, you can maybe do that mentally. If not, write a couple out and just see. If you're getting them right, then you're probably on the right track for the rest of them. Before we end, real quick, one last thing that if I don't tell you this, you will be probably a little confused on, but it's nothing major. We've done it before, actually. But numbers 20 through 28, you'll see the example x squared minus, I'm on number 20, x squared minus 10x plus 21 equals 0. So when it's equal to 0, that means I want to factor it out first and then set each one to 0, and I'll get 2 specific answers. So do the same thing, x, both the same signs, they're both negative. What times what gives me 21 and can be subtracted to give me 10? What would that equal? 7 and 3, right? Or can be added to give me negative 10, depending on the terms. So 7 and 3, I know that will multiply to give me 21 and add to give me 10. So let's try that out. They're both the same, so let's put 3 there, 7 there. X squared minus 3x minus 7x plus 21. Negative 3x minus 7x equals negative 10x. Very good. So I know that's right. But what I want to do here is, because each one is set to 0, that's x minus 7 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. And so x is going to equal 7, and x is going to equal 3. So when I see those, I know that I'm going to have 2 exact answers, 7 and 3. And so for number 20, the answers would be x equals 7 and x equals 3. You only have to do that when it's equal to 0, okay? If it's just the expression, like numbers 3 through 17, then all you're doing is just giving it to, it won't even say equals 0, and you'll just get to that form and that's it, okay? So rewatch any parts that you weren't sure about. Email me, text me, give me a shout out if you need anything. But hopefully we are starting to get this a little bit better and using the skills last week to do this week's work. So go ahead and get to work and replay the parts that you didn't get, and let me know if there's anything I can help fill in for you. All right? Thanks, guys.